least they stood around and watched it happen. Now, is this being your brother's keeper? This is what the world has come to. Can you imagine? It's worse enough that she has been humiliated to this degree. Would you post it on YouTube? Now, thousands around the world watch her get gang raped. This girl would probably never be right with her head. If so, it would take an absolute act of God to heal her from that damage that somebody done, because guess what? They didn't consider themselves to be their brother's keeper. What was going on in the other 15 guys that stood around? Nobody thought to stop it. They all stood around and waited for their turn. This is society that we're living in. We're not our brother's keeper. We're not guarding them. We're not protecting them. We're not preserving them. We're not loving on them. We're not. And I have been guilty of some of things myself. You know, somebody thinks, I ain't got nothing to do with that. You know, just go by. No, that's not kingdom. Kingdom, even if the greatest love of all is one that would lay down his life for something. One that would intervene even at the thought of your own life being at risk. That you would stop something like this from happening. What has happened to some of our men? Now, they will see a woman getting beat down by a man and he won't intervene. He won't say that. He won't stop in and break up and fight. He just fight. That's his woman. But what about the helpless woman who can't defend herself? What about her? See, the Father's calling us up to a higher realm of consciousness. He said, I created the people that's supposed to love each other. What are you doing? Get back to I am my brother's keeper. I am my brother's keeper. Hallelujah. 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 We got to care enough about somebody else. How many of you know that sin is never private, but it's public? Do you think because you went in that corner in a dark alley in the back of town somewhere at 2 o'clock in the morning that your sin is private? Because guess who was there when you got there in that corner? I don't see God. He saw you. Your sin is never private. It's always public. When I say about that, I'm going to give you some statistics. When you make a decision to do a sin, think about this. The immediate 15 people in your parameter, those that are closest to you, is getting ready to be affected by that sin you're doing. It's going to immediately impact 15 people. And depending on how close your friends is and your family, it's going to indirect another 15 to 30 more people. So guess what? By one decision you make, 45 people, you get ready to get by the hand and leave them in your suffering. They're getting ready to pay for what you just done. You think if you go out and you commit adultery, that somehow that sin is private. Well, it's just between me and this person right here, then nobody else getting hurt. Okay, but what if you come home with a disease? What if that person comes up pregnant? Or God forbid, what if you get caught? Now, can you just think in your mind how many people that's getting ready to affect your sin? Now you got a family that's getting ready to be split apart. Now what your sin you thought was secret, now you got your wife in a corner, bowed up in a fetal position, crying her eyes out because the person she just loved just betrayed her. Now you got kids that witness their mama's hurt. Now the kids are affected. Now their friends and everything. Now your mom and your daddy, when they find out what you done, now they're affected. And it's like a snowball. Yes. It goes on and on and on and on. Everybody's affected. Then the kids go to school. Once they used to having 2 people in the home. Now there's a divorce. Now the kids are affected. They go to school, their grades slipping and all this stuff. They start acting out. All of this can come about. Why? Because your decision. You decided that. And because of your decision, look at the fallout that came as a result of it. Because you didn't think that when you done this, who is this getting ready to affect? I'm getting ready, by me sneaking over here, I'm getting ready to take my kids, my wife, my mama, my daddy, my sister and brother. I'm going to leave them all over here at 1 o'clock in the night with me. Because guess what? They all going with you. Not physically, but they all getting ready to be affected by that sin that you done. That's why we have to come to the thought in our mind. Am I my brother's keeper?
Yes, come on.
it's never private, always public. And because society has created these misconceptions in our mind, we need to tear down. There's a couple misconceptions in your mind that you have been taught, not only in the world, but sometimes this attitude reigns in the church. This attitude. And one of the attitudes that reigns in the church is, I'm grown. I can do what I want. How many of you think because you got a little age on you that you can do what you want?
Come on.
Some of us can't wait till we get to that, what society calls that legal age. 21. Now I can do what I want to do. Oh, really? Can you really do what you want to do? Because you may be 30, 40, 50. No age in this world will ever constitute you being able to do what you want to do and it not affect anybody.
Yes.
So that's one misconception we need to just throw out our mind. Because you are grown, you can't do what you want to do. That's how it should be.
That's right.
Because I am mature now, I got some understanding. I know I can't do what I want to do.
Right.
See, that's the sign of maturity. That's the sign of being grown.
Come on.
But when you have this attitude, that's the sign of immaturity. That shows that you lack some understanding somewhere.
Yes, come on.
This misconception gotta go. If you're used to saying that, correct yourself. Just because you're grown, you cannot do what you want to do. Guess what? God stands there and said, no, you can't.
Come on. Come on.
No, you can't. Another misconception we need to tear out. It's only going to affect me. It ain't gonna hurt nobody else. Won't nobody even know. If you go down there and rob that bank down the street, how many people do you think it's going to affect? You may be going to jail for it, but you just left a family behind that has to defend for themselves now because they're gone. Because that decision that you made is never only going to affect me. And if somebody come up to you and try to lure you, it's only going to affect you. Ain't nobody else going to know this my little secret. They're sitting crouching at the door. Recognize it. It can come in the form of friends. It can come in the form of family. It can come in the form of your husband, your wife. The very ones that's closest to you could be the very one that sin is crouching in, trying to get you to do something you shouldn't do. And that's where you got to be skilled like the Messiah. Even though Peter walked with the Messiah, as soon as Peter said something that came out of his mouth that wasn't right, even though the Messiah loved him and he was his disciple, what did he say to Peter? Get thee behind me, Satan. He recognized immediately when something came out of Peter's mouth that wasn't right. And we got to have the guts. I don't care if it's your husband, your wife, your child, your mother. If they are trying to get you to sin, to do something that you shouldn't, you got to be bold enough from this day to say, I see that sin crouching. You're not going to get me today. You got to be messy. Get thee behind me.
Come on.
You got to, else sin is going to get you before you realize it. You standing in the after effect. How many know after effect ain't no good feeling? When you sit there and that conviction hits you like a big elephant, and you sit there and you think, what did I just do? Why did I do that? Boy, I wish I could turn back the clock and reverse some stuff. See, the enemy lure you by all the pleasure that you're going to have. Oh, this is going to be nice. It's going to be good. It's going to feel good. He pump you up with all this error in life. He don't tell you you're going to feel like crap when it's over with. He don't tell you some people going to feel like killing you when it's over with. He don't tell you you're going to jail if you get caught. He don't tell you your wife going to shoot at you if you get caught. He don't tell you your husband gonna beat you down if you get. He don't tell you none of this stuff. So you go out and do it, but guess what? A one-sided story. You go out thinking this is gonna be fun. Can't wait to do this. I'm pressing my clothes. I'm getting all ready. You done planned that stuff for weeks. Whatever you planned, you got it down pat. The enemy done showed you skillfully how to do it until you can get away. So you, as far as you're concerned, you got a bulletproof plan. I done all my I's, crossed all my T's. Ain't nobody gonna know. You even got an alibi. Sometimes we get people to lie for us. We got the